All right, ladies and gentlemen, I restarted the live stream. This is going to be an interesting experiment. We're going to find out if I'm going to be shut down again. Man, they don't like to let us cook around here. But anyhow, if it gives me the same live stream, this will be very interesting because I can see this in the chat room still. Oh my, let's see what happens in the next 15 seconds or so. That's it, I guess. Exactly. This is it. We'll see if it shuts down or if this is a reboot. But nonetheless, I want to thank everybody for being here, going through these trying times, because again, it's only going to get worse. Now I'm going to have two live streams rolling. This is funny as hell. This is part two, ladies and gentlemen. Down below in the description box, you will find lots of good things, hopefully. And I'm doing some things in the background. So if you are able to find me, we will see how this goes. I've never tried this before. And it looks like we're at 1 minute now. I still have the same chat. This is crazy. But I don't see anybody watching. But now we have two videos up. And I think I'm going to have to do a part one so people will know. That's funny. Part one. There we go. So some people will see part one. This ought to be interesting. I didn't even know we could do this. Uh, so hold on. Since I don't see any viewers on here, maybe there are viewers, but I can't see it, unfortunately. But it's all right. We're still going to do some other things right now just to get the party started. I don't plan on being on here much longer. So you guys, if you guys can find me, I will know in a few minutes. If not, well, we'll just end this in a few minutes because I think I got the message across for what I was trying to say earlier, which is a good thing. So we'll see how this all plays out. So if we find somebody new, the other video went out. I started another live stream. The same chat room shows, but the connections are not here. That's it, I guess. Yep, that's it. It's over. It's out. But we're still rolling. This is funny as hell. All right. Hello. We're here. What's the topic tonight? 1929. Is it? Because roaring 20s is what you need to pay attention to. The Great Depression, two, could be incoming. What to do now? Pay attention. I went through part one. This is part two. There is no part two to this. This is a very simple game plan. Everybody can do it. One, get your credit in order. Down below in the description box, you will have tools. One of the tools will be Resolve Finance, Tracy at Resolve Finance. Email her for your debt. Get your debt reduced without filing bankruptcy. And on 1 year to 2 years, you come on the other side of it, good standing, your credit score bounces up. You cannot have credit cards though. Just keep that in mind. All right. Because you'll be restructuring. Just saying. That's what you have to do. Whoever comes in now, let me know that you came into the house because again, I don't know what it's even showing on YouTube because this is stable. That was just bad. What happened? That I'm showing the same chat room, but I can't believe it. I can't believe this. Hold on, let me see what's happening here. So I won't be on too much longer. Probably. I see one. Oh, I see part one. Yes. Okay, now I see part. Okay, now I see I have a part two that I can deal with. This is awesome. I don't mind that. That's cool. I'll do it. In fact, I can copy everything. Also, everybody who may see this, this will be a short video for part two. But number one, get your debt resolution handled. You have 1 year and 4 months to do it. Also, number two, buy assets that pay you. If a liability looks like you go buy a car, you have a car payment. That's a liability. That car that you just put down whatever money, let's say it's $1,000, Now you have an IOU of, well, the going rate these days, $1,000 per month. It's going out the window. If you can afford that, think about putting 1,000 a month into assets that pay you, so they make more money for you without a liability that you have to maintain, that you have to get insurance for, and may have to pay for maintenance and upkeep, car washes, whatever. Just keep that in mind. So once you have that in order, then you get a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, platinum, palladium, whatever you like, a little bit of that. Not a lot, just a little. So you have it. Get some Bitcoin, a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, and then keep adding to it a little bit, a little bit. A little bit keeps adding up. The turtle versus the hare. We still get to the same destination. There's no reason to try to get there faster unless you want to. But starting in starting small, there's no problem with that. You don't need 20, 50, $100,000. Just start. $100 start is good. Just start and then just keep adding a little bit to it. It'll go faster than you think, especially if you invest in the right things. So just keep that in mind. All right. Okay. Make sure whoever watches this, smash that like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. It's Friday night, the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream, part 2, because the other live stream went blank. Power outage, so to speak. So we had to reboot, and then the stream didn't like the reboot process. So what can I say? That's just the way it goes. So we did not abandon the ship. We just created a part 2. So now I have to put a part 2 down. Part 2, I was trying to also get Brian P's information that he told me. He tells me, check your emails. I'm sitting there like, oh man, that's what I'm trying to do. We'll get to the emails, but I'm going to do a part 2. Hopefully the emails came up. So then that'll help out with this part 2 version. You want to increase your credit scores? Down below in the description box. That's part of this equation. That 775 credit score that you're going to need by December 2026. You can start working on it now. Start paying down your debt now. I'm on the Dave Ramsey school right now. This is lessons. This is education. You have to get your debt down. Your debt's going to explode. It's already exploded, but it's going to explode even more. You're going to have to clear your debt because other things are going to, your everyday expenses are going to rise. And it's not sustainable. All right? Just keep that in mind. We're here for you, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want you to be in a dire situation when your health care, Medicare, Medicaid, VA, all of this is going down. It's going down. That is not good. A lot of people are not going to have Medicaid and Medicare in the next 6-7 months. 15 to 20 million people are going to lose their Medicaid, Medicare. Nursing homes, individuals, the workers at nursing homes and rural hospitals and medical facilities, because Medicaid is cut, are not going to be able to be in play anymore. So jobs, those are livable wage jobs are going to be gone. And caregiving is going to be gone from those type of nursing homes or any other type of medical facilities. It's going to be bad. So you better think about your health. Your health is wealth too. So work out, stop eating sugars, the colorings and dyes and all that stuff in food. Start the sodium, start paying attention, get some vitamin D, walk around, you know, exercise a little bit, eat healthy, the healthy you can, the healthiest that you can. Don't, your health is going to cost you an arm and a leg in the future. Only rich people are going to be able to afford it because your health insurance prices are going to go off the charts. All right? Just keep all of this in mind. Insurance companies aren't stupid. They want you to pay premiums or somebody to pay premiums, whether it's government or not. And they may not cover your illness, especially when you have an administration that wants them to allow, meaning the healthcare organizations, the insurance companies, they want to cut the part that's on the Affordable Care Act that says you cannot discriminate against pre-existing conditions. Meaning, if they're allowed to not cover pre-existing conditions, that means you're done. If you're sick right now and you have to go to the hospital with that insurance that now is allowed to not have you covered, you're in trouble. Hospital bills are 50, 70, $80,000 just by staying a couple of days and going through MRI and a couple other machines. And the next thing you know, uh, it's bad. It's bad. You're going to owe 80, 90, $100,000 with no way out. And now they can add the medical. Oh, this administration has signed a law that adds medical debt to your credit score to make matters even worse. So now we're back to a nation of immigrants who are sick by design, and the numbers of people that have pre-existing conditions is enormous. Think of all of the lawsuits of toxic chemicals in the soil, in the water, and you have cancers or whatever health breathing problems. Think about that. And that's been happening ever since you were 10 years old. And they're like, oh, that's a pre-existing condition. We can't treat that. We're not covering that claim. And now you got to come out of pocket thousands of dollars. I'm telling you, this is not good. So again, you have 1 year, 4 months to make sure your health is in order. If you need some help, let me know. All right. You need K2. You need magnesium. You need D3. That's the sun can give you D3. That's why you should walk around, exercise. Make sure your muscles are working, your flow's working, your heart's working. You got to do something for 10, 15, 20 minutes to get your heart rate up every day. All right. Whether that's cleaning the house, I don't really care what it is, whether it's working out. But either way, you have to eat right. Start getting rid of sugar is bad. Just let me do something since we're talking about tonight and talking about helping people. Just think of sugar as sugar on the brain, cancer in the brain, sugar in your blood, diabetes, other cancers occur because it's spreading to all your organs. Sugar is bad for you. So if you can just substitute your sugar and lower your sodium and then start eating fruits and vegetables a little more, doesn't mean you have to be 100% on that, but you start eating properly. You need avocados, you need fish for omegas, right? It's very simple. It's not rocket science, but you have to know about it in order to do it. Okay? All right. Well, anyhow, this is part 2. We have a part 1, so you can check that out. This is going to be a part 2. I'm probably going to be on there for another 20 minutes. So after you do the first part, then the first 2 things, get your credit in order. Make sure it's 775. Make sure you invest in other businesses or an investment that gives you a return where you're not doing it. You invest, you walk away, you get a check. That's what you need, and more of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways. 7 different ways if you can, because they will slowly but surely start decreasing and start being removed. That's what's going to happen over the next 1 year, because we have unsettled scenarios. Just what happened in the 1920s, we have undercurrents of bad economic numbers. We do not have increase in jobs. We do not have increase in livable wage jobs. That's a problem. Our corporations are laying people off because we are in tariff wars. Isolationism is what they called it in the 1920s and 1930s. That's what we're doing by tariffs or isolationism, meaning you're trying to put tariffs upon all the countries so our citizens don't buy from them because their prices are cheaper, right? So now they cut on their reciprocal tariffs, and now their citizens don't buy from our corporations. And because our inflation goes up, our citizens can't buy from grown home manufacturers. So it's a double whammy, and now all of a sudden you start bleeding jobs. This is tried and true. It's not just 1929. You can go to 1890 by McKinley. He did the same thing. I don't know why this president, for whatever reason, thinks tariffs is a good thing. There is no time that tariffs have ended up good. Just like last time, adding 7.3 trillion to our deficit last time between 2017 and 2021 with the same program, which means inflation kicks up and then you try to blame it on the next administration, just like what's going to happen this time. Because after this, same playbook, inflation takes a year, 2 years, 3 years rolling. So now when 2028 comes, the next person in charge is going to have an inflation tsunami if we haven't already been in the depression scenario already. So and you're going to try to blame that person for all of the things that this 4 years, what they did. That's why I have to tell you guys, because you'll think like everybody else, oh, he's doing a great job because our stock market investors are winning. Mom and pops, their shops are closing down. Their stores are gone. Their employees are gone. People are looking for jobs. There aren't jobs to be had. People are sitting on the market for months and they can't find jobs, and they're highly qualified individuals. So, again, this is signs that you cannot ignore. Just like you can't ignore devaluing your currency 11% in this last 6 months. Again, you're paying 11% just to break even. So when somebody says things like, oh, my groceries, they're cheaper now, it's a lie. It can't be. There's no way. Your currency has been devalued of 11%. So therefore, in order to buy the same amount of goods, it's 11% more. So if it cost me $100 6 months ago, it now costs me $111 to buy the same thing. So nobody can sit up here and say groceries are cheaper. That's ridiculous. We haven't even included inflation yet. I mentioned this in part one, but you haven't even gotten to the 3% year over year, July 2024 to July 2025. Inflation has increased 3%, and we haven't even counted the food and energy. So part one, I mentioned this to go over it again because people don't understand. So you're already at 14%, and we haven't even added food and energy. As soon as you add food and energy, you're at 20%. So this notion that all of a sudden prices are less, how? It can't be. It may be some things could be less because of supply and demand. That's possible. But at the same time, across the board, you're not going to roll down and pick up 100 items and you're all of a sudden going to have less prices. That's not how it works. You just don't go buy one thing. It's across the board. And in case of others, when there are tariff wars, then that means the business also had to add on 10 or 20 or 30% because of tariff wars. Incoming, if we have a 25% tariff on China for whatever goods, then that means it costs 25% more to the United States citizen. So now we're over near 40%. So this craziness where people are like prices are less is like, that's not possible. Mathematics doesn't work that way. One of the reasons why I always love math, because, my geography teacher my history teacher, social studies. They could all say, hey, write this report, Eric. So I write my report. I get my report slid back to me, C plus. I say, damn, why? Because at my house, we have Encyclopedia Britannicas. So I can study at school, get research at the library, and at home. So I got this thing down, I think. But my teacher says no. But it's subjective, right? Because it's a report. So then you go talk to your teacher and say, hey, why do I get a C plus? I covered the subject matter more than enough. I met all your criteria. It had to be 3 pages and double spaced and all this stuff. Oh, well, I felt you left out. What? Left out? Hold on. Did you read my report? You just said I just left out something. Uh, I'd go back, get my paper, story night, get my paper. I was like, this paragraph right here. That that's what you just said. I left out. I didn't leave that out. I talked about that, and I even came up with a conclusion about it too. They said, "Oh no, well, I feel you should have a C plus." So obviously, you know what I do. I'm curious. Now we go out in the hallways, and we're out, recess wise for that 5 minutes or 10 minutes between class. I go see my classmates who got the A minus, the B pluses, the A's. I said, "Hey, let me see what you guys. What's happening? You guys got good grades. Let me read your report." I start reading their report, and I'm like, "Okay, um, you're missing like 30% of the whole assignment." I get another person's. Uh, Wait, you're missing like pieces of the assignment too. All these people have better grades than me. Right then and there, that's when I chose the only thing that does no way you can get better grades than me is math, because the number is the number. I don't get to call up BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, and fire the person that gave me the grade. I don't get to call the principal and go, "Hey, this person gave me a C plus. Can you fire them for me and let me bring my own teacher in? So when I write my reports from now on, I know I'll get A's." I don't get to do that. Like our president's trying to, well, did with the Bureau of Labor Statistics person that actually gets the information and reports it. She didn't create it. But nonetheless, but now somebody's going to be in place who may lie. The same rules apply when it's subjective on these book reports or whatever, and they're giving other people A's and B's, saying the reason why my stuff is in a C plus. But then when I go read these A's and B pluses and A pluses, what she just told me that I was allegedly missing, they actually are missing, and I'm not, and my grade is less. So mathematics doesn't lie unless you can change it by appointing people that are going to lie for you. And that is a very dangerous scenario. And that's what we have going on right now in America. And by that, the rest of the world doesn't respect America, doesn't respect the numbers. And so now investors who buy bonds, who invest in America by investing in corporations or companies, they start figuring out, hold on, maybe these numbers are fugazi. Maybe these numbers are no good. Now, we may not want to invest hundreds of millions or not trillions of dollars combined into the United States economy, which is bad for businesses in the United States and their employees. So, hopefully, I've explained again why things are going to implode faster than they should have. Because two things nobody saw coming: $11 trillion being added to our deficit between 2017 and 2028. And one person is going to have added $11 trillion by himself to administrations out of our $40 trillion deficit. 250 years of presidents, one has committed to one quarter, actually a little more than one quarter, probably around 28% of the deficit under his watch. And actually, I think the numbers are going to be lower. I mean, higher, shall I say. So, again, this is another reason why you have 1 year, 4 months to get your act together, get your property, business, income from another source outside of America. That would be wise. Set up another business, do something outside of America, whether just so you have a bank account. If you are able to travel and a country allows United States citizens to open up bank accounts, I suggest you do it, because that way at least you can always go, even if you stayed there on a visa or whatever you have to do, at least you will have a bank account so you can get paid for working outside the USA. Prices here are going to get out of control. So if you don't have the money, it's going to be a scary day. And unfortunately, we have a lot of boomers, just like what we were talking about in part one, where people have equity in their homes. They're going to be able to go down and maybe not make money, but they'll say, well, you know what? I need to take out $150,000. The problem is, can I get a home equity line of $100,000? Their house is worth 700. They only owe 100, or it's free and clear. Yeah, here, take 150,000. Well, see, now they're back in having an IOU, and now you just can't. What are you going to do with the money? You have to invest it. You have to be able to pay back what you borrowed. That would be the logical thing, right? But it's going to happen. People are not going to, insurance companies aren't covering every home. So now somebody's going to try and get loans to pay for their new roof or windows or whatever the insurance companies want, because they're elderly, they're retired. Because nobody, not even myself, could predict that you're going to have home insurance of 5 grand, 6 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand a year. Who predicted that? Who also predicted that your property taxes are going to be 5 grand, 10 grand or more per year for a regular house? I'm not talking about $1 million house. I'm talking about a regular house. You would have never seen this coming 10 years ago, or 5 or 7. So now that you know it's going to keep rising, now what? Your property taxes that your home or condo or townhome sits on. What are you going to do then, ladies and gentlemen? You have to have a plan. We always have a plan, because you have to invest. You are a subsidiary of this corporation of America. The only way you survive is by making money. If you can't make any money, then your business, you die. And nobody's coming to save you, because there will be no help when everybody's dying with you. And I mean by dying, not literally dying of death. I'm referring to dying, low wages, can't get health care, can't find jobs. We're all down here in this little area that is a void and no way to get up there because there's nothing available to you. Meanwhile, you're going to see who? The wealthy, the oligarchs, the top 5%, the top 1%, buying boats, yacht, plane, trains, vacationing, doing their best life. But that doesn't trickle down just because I'm the wait staff. That doesn't trickle down because I'm the guy at the front desk when they check in. That's not going to trickle down. They're going to be living their best life where the 90% of the population's not. That's what you have to worry about. You're the 90%. It's just that we haven't gotten to the 90% yet. That's going to be in about 2 years. That's the upper middle class is going to be wiped out. And then you're just going to have the upper class. and they're going to eat themselves too. Because once the lower classes can't buy their corporations, can't buy their products, and they start losing revenue, now it's already too late. Because now they lose revenue, they're not going to hire people. They're going to close their factories to exasperate the situation of laying people off. More people are down below the line that you need to survive. So things are going to go bad. It's pretty simple. It's not like a hard thing to figure. It's in stone. What's hard to figure is people keep voting against their best interests. People here, we're going to raise taxes on the rich. We're going to give you health care. We're going to forgive your student loan, but we're not going to let the rich guys forgive their loans anymore. But people are backwards. They go, oh no, we don't want that. We want to deport people. So we want to waste $1 trillion on deporting people and building new prisons instead of health care for all, instead of livable wages, instead of rich people paying taxes like the rest of us at the same percentage as us. But you want to waste money on nothing that creates manufacturing. In fact, it reduces manufacturing and labor by deporting people. So that doesn't give us anything. In fact, the people that's working here contribute $100 billion to the economy annually. So now that's gone, and now you have to replace those jobs. And by the way, those jobs were lower paying jobs, not livable wage jobs. So now you have a situation where less manufacturing, less agriculture, nobody to replace those people, and housing. All of those workers are under siege, and it cost us $1 trillion. And now we lose $100 billion plus $1 trillion we wasted for taxpayers to pay for this goon squad. And now you understand the money went in the wrong place. It should have went toward free education, free lunch for kids, health care for Medicaid, Medicare, health care for all. So that way businesses don't even have to carry health insurance. That would alleviate them. So you understand, by doing the opposite, implosion that's going to occur and only the rich survive. So if the rich are going to survive, I want to have an off ramp. Because if I'm not rich enough, I need an off ramp. What's going to be rich enough? I don't know. But we're going to find out in a few years. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below in this part 2. And with all that said, I love you guys very much. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, we have solutions. I've given you a few. Go to YieldMax ETF, get that passive income coming in from dividend funds from the stock market. We gave you a few on our first part 1. MSTY, PLTY, ULTY, YMAX, LFGY, just those. Just consider some of those. SMCY. These are high risk, high rewards, option income trading. Go do your own due diligence and research. See if it fits your program. Get some NVDA, get some Pelletier, PLTR. That's the recommended list. But again, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. So just keep that in mind. Do your due diligence. But Pelletier, they're getting Department of Defense contracts. They're getting subsidies. They're getting Pentagon contracts. That's why their stock price has boomed. NVIDIA, number 1. AMD, number 1A. Both stock prices, everybody says, are going to reach $200 to $250 per share. It has moved to 182 now. And it was just 100 in April. I mean, no, 89, 88, 87, the beginning of April. So it's going to move up. And I will say 182, 10%. gets you around 200. So if a stock price moves 10 to 15%, you would be happy for the year, wouldn't you? Others are going to enjoy a higher percentage because they got in when it was $100 or 85 or 90 or 60. So some of them are going to be happier than those that come in late. But again, if it goes to 220, that means you got 20%, which it could because there will be an explosion. They're buying back their own shares of stock, along with Microsoft, along with Apple, along with Google, Tesla. They all buy their own shares of stock. They're spending billions of dollars over a 3-year period. So their stock prices are going to go up. So you got to be in the game. It's the casino. You get to win along with them and get passive income. So I'm imploring you to do that. Now, if there's anything you want to talk about, make it be known in the comments section down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Conversation is always good. Iron sharpens iron. Maybe you see things differently. So that's a great discussion as well, to have a different type of view to how you come to your conclusion on what's going to happen and why you're doing what you're doing. It's perfectly fine. Because sometimes a person says, "Oh, wait a minute. I never thought about that. That might work too. Let me start thinking about that maneuver." And that helps out everybody to think of different opportunities in different ways. So again, I'll see you guys on Monday, the Money Making Monday live stream. Don't forget to find and watch Good Luck Americans. That's my series that I'm making right now, talking about some of this in a short video. And I did part 1, dropped today. I'm going to be doing part 2, 3, and 4 over the weekend. So I'm going to be dropping these. All right. So a lot of it's based on Brian P. because he keeps sending me some information that's hard to find. It's not even in mainstream media. They're not talking about it. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, insurance companies aren't doing claims and paying them out even more than ever now. This is incredible. Imagine paying for 20 years insurance, finally need your insurance for your home, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we're going to deny that claim." And you're like, "I've been paying for 20 years." 20 to 30-year customers are getting denied their first ever claim as it was hail. Can you believe this? Hail damage. And they said, "Oh no, we're denying this." $18,000 to $20,000 repairs for 20 people on average. And of course, it's probably going to cost more as each week or month goes by. But the fact of the matter is, let's just say it's $500,000 to $1 million to $1 million for the 20 people. They'd rather deny them than to pay the claim after they've been paying for 20 plus years. Let that sink in. Insurance companies seem to me no longer in the business of insurance. They're in the business of extortion. So this is what we have going on here. So nothing is safe. Just because you pay your insurance $7,000 a month means nothing. Because when you need it, they may look at you and say, "We deny the claim." So that should tell you a lot. Prepare yourself for if you have to pay for everything out of your pocket. Hopefully, I imparted something to you and you understand a little bit where this goes, but leave comments down below to let me know what message you heard. And if you have any suggestions, by all means, please help other people is what we talk about and do here. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. People are under stress. You never know what somebody's going through. But no matter what, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.